Initiating simulation 075. Beneath your feet, the solid ground feels permanent, immovable, and entirely eternal. But the massive continents you stand on are merely incredibly thin, fragile scabs of rock floating precariously on top of a churning, boiling ocean of liquid magma. They are only held in place by the colossal, crushing power of geological friction. Today, we delete that friction. T-0. The Earth's crust is divided into massive puzzle pieces called tectonic plates. Under normal physics, they move at the exact same speed that your fingernails grow, about 2 inches per year. They grind, they catch, and they violently lock together at the fault lines, building up immense pressure over millions of years. Without any warning, the physics engine of the planet violently glitches out. The coefficient of friction between the solid lithosphere and the liquid asthenosphere drops to absolute, perfect zero. The massive, jagged teeth holding the fault lines together instantly dissolve. The entire outer crust of the planet Earth is officially unlocked from the core. The immediate result is the largest earthquake in the entire history of the solar system. Every single locked fault line on the planet violently releases millions of years of stored kinetic energy simultaneously. The ground doesn't just shake, it physically detaches and begins to rapidly slide like a massive hockey puck on an endless sheet of perfectly smooth ice. Because the Earth is rapidly spinning on its axis, centrifugal force immediately takes complete control of the unlocked land masses. The massive continents of North America, Europe, and Asia are violently pulled away from the poles. Entire land masses begin accelerating southward toward the equator, literally surfing across the molten mantle at hundreds of miles per hour. The oceans are violently displaced. As the massive continents rapidly accelerate across the globe, they act like colossal snowplows plowing through a bathtub. The land masses physically slide directly into the deep ocean basins, generating impossible, towering megatsunamis that are quite literally several miles high, completely swallowing the sliding coastlines in seconds. The terrifying speed of the continental drift begins to severely compromise the structural integrity of the land masses themselves. Although the friction is gone beneath them, the sheer kinetic stress of moving at hypervelocity causes the crust to fracture. Entire continents begin to crack in half, bleeding, glowing, superheated magma from the deep mantle. But the ultimate glitch is the destination. Centrifugal force pulls every single free-floating landmass directly toward the center of the Earth's spin. Every continent on the planet is now on a direct, unavoidable, hyperspeed collision course with the equator. A massive, apocalyptic traffic jam of unimaginable planetary scale is about to occur. When the continents finally collide, they hit each other at over 300 miles per hour. The sheer, unfathomable kinetic force of billions of tons of solid rock slamming together completely shatters the crust. The ground folds violently upward, instantly thrusting brand new, impossible mountain ranges miles into the upper stratosphere. The Himalayas took over 50 million years to form. Under these new glitch physics, mountains twice the size of Everest are violently forged in a matter of seconds. Anything caught between the colliding land masses, entire countries, sprawling metropolitan cities, and billions of lives, is instantly crushed to absolute dust inside the tectonic meat grinder. Within the span of a single terrifying afternoon, the entire geographical map of the Earth is violently rewritten. All of the separated continents smash together at the equator, forming a single, massive, towering ring of crushed landmass around the center of the planet. A modern, apocalyptic supercontinent. A hyperpangea born entirely of violence. The center of this new supercontinent is an absolute unsurvivable hellscape. The devastating impact shatters the thin crust, allowing thousands of newly formed supervolcanoes to violently erupt all at once. The atmosphere is immediately choked with trillions of tons of toxic ash and suffocating sulfur, completely blocking out the sun. The global oceans, completely displaced by the massive influx of land at the equator, aggressively rush toward the north and south poles. The Earth is entirely segregated. The top and bottom of the planet become deep, chaotic, raging water worlds, while the center becomes an irradiated, mountainous ring of absolute fire and death. Any human survivors lucky enough to have been buried deep underground are trapped in collapsing, superheated subterranean tombs. There is no rescue coming. The surface of the planet has been completely sterilized by kinetic friction and volcanic winter. The delicate, life-sustaining balance of the Earth's biosphere has been permanently deleted. The Earth is left completely unrecognizable. It is no longer a sanctuary of blue oceans and green forests. It is a violently scarred, heavily deformed, and completely dead rock tumbling blindly through the freezing void of space. The frictionless glitch has successfully reset the entire biological clock of the planet back to absolute zero. The illusion of stability is the greatest lie the human mind ever invented. We live our entire lives dancing on the razor-thin edge of an active volcano, blindly trusting the physics of the universe to keep us perfectly still. We are never safe. We are only lucky. Simulation result. We rely on the friction of the Earth to hold our lives together. When the friction dies, the entire world slides directly into the abyss. Simulation concluding. Subscribe to the log to survive the next one.